You know that feeling, right? When you look
Right.
at your cloud setup, your infrastructure, and it just feels tangled, kind of a
Oh,
mess.
absolutely. It happens fast.
Exactly. It's a really common challenge.
Mm,
So today, we're going to dig into Azure Resource Manager, ARM for
mm.
short. Our goal here is to show you how ARM can really change the game, how it brings order, consistency, and just plain efficiency to managing things in Azure.
And it's important to understand ARM isn't just, another tool. It's fundamental.
Right.
It's Microsoft Azure's main deployment and management service. It gives you this consistent layer, this interface, for doing pretty much everything, creating, updating, deleting resources.
Like VMs, storage.
Exactly. Virtual machines, storage accounts, databases, you name it. When it became generally available back in 2017, that was a big shift.
A shift from what
Yeah, from
specifically?
its predecessor, Azure Service Manager, or ASM, which was, well, let's just say less structured.
Okay, less structured. So let's unpack that. You said ARM is this consistent layer. What does that really mean for someone maybe used to older ways, maybe more manual cloud management?
Yeah, good question. Think about the syntax. ARM uses what's called a declarative syntax,
Okay.
mostly through ARM templates, which are basically JSON files. Instead of telling Azure step by step how to build something, like you often did with ASM,
Which sounds error prone.
it could be. With ARM, you define the desired state. You say, this is what I want my environment to look like when you're done. You don't spell out every single command.
Ah, okay. So you declare the what, not the how.
Precisely. And this directly tackles the problems ASM had, like resources getting created all over the place, totally disorganized,
Okay.
or needing to manually figure out dependencies like, oops, I tried to create a VM before its network existed. ARM fixes that. It brings centralization, automation, consistency.
I can definitely see the appeal there, avoiding those dependency nightmares. So what are the core features within ARM that actually make this happen? What tackles those headaches directly?
Okay, number one has to be resource groups.
Resource groups. Heard of them?
Think of them as logical containers. You put all the related bits for an application or a workload together. So maybe Web App 1 Prod has its web app, its database, its storage all in one group. It tidies things up immensely.
Makes management easier, I bet.
Totally. And then there's the automatic dependency management we touched on.
Social.
Absolutely critical. ARM figures out the right order. It knows the virtual network needs to be up before the VM that uses it. No more manual sequencing or deployment failures because of timing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
And how does this connect to, the bigger trends like DevOps and infrastructure as code, ITAC?
It's right at the heart of IAC for Azure. Those ARM templates are your infrastructure defined as code.
Meaning you can version control them?
Exactly. Check them into Git, review changes, collaborate, just like application code. It makes it deployments repeatable, reliable, just so much more robust. Plus, ARM integrates tightly with Azure Role-Based Access Control, RBAC. So you get really fine-grained control over who can do what.
Efficiency.
And then there's tagging. Simple concept, huge impact. Key value pairs you attached to resources.
Like environment, production.
Perfect example. Or department, finance, project, Phoenix, whatever makes sense for you. Helps with organization, cost tracking, automation, audits. It's surprisingly powerful.
Right. Helps sort through the bill at the end of the month, too.
Definitely helps with that.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Say I need to deploy a typical web application. How would ARM change that process for me? Walk me through it.
Sure. So first, you'd create a resource group. Let's call it My Web App Production.
Good.
Then you'd likely have one ARM template, define everything the web app itself, the SQL database it needs, maybe a storage account for logs or static files.
All in one template.
Yep. And that template defines the dependencies, so ARM deploys them in the right sequence automatically.
Nice.
Then you'd use RBAC, maybe give the web dev team access only to the web app resource within that group, but not the database directly.
Good security practice.
Exactly. And finally, you'd tag everything. Project, marketing campaign, cost center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can easily track costs and manage resources for that specific initiative. And the beauty is you use the same template for dev, test, and prod, just maybe with different parameters. Consistency.
That sounds way more streamlined and less chaotic than some other methods.
Yeah.
So for developers really wanting to embrace ARM, what are some key best practices, things to watch out for?
Good question. Naming conventions are surprisingly important. Keep them consistent. Something like project environment resource type region helps immensely.
That makes sense.
Group resources by lifecycle things that are deployed, managed, and retired together should be in the same resource group.
Logical grouping again.
Yep. And critically, this is super important. Never put secrets like passwords or API keys directly in your ARM templates.
Oh, definitely not. Where should they go?
Use Azure Key Vault. Store the secrets there and then reference them securely from your template. Much safer.
Okay, good tip. Any other gotchas?
Just remember, a resource lives in one and only one resource group. You can't have it in two places.
Right.
And maybe the biggest one, deleting a resource group deletes everything inside it permanently.
Whoa.
Yeah. So use resource locks. You can put locks on critical resources or even the whole resource group to prevent accidental deletion. Highly recommended for production.
Definitely noted. Use resource locks. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here? What does ARM really mean for someone managing cloud stuff?
It's a fundamental shift, really. It moves you away from just reacting to infrastructure issues and towards proactively defining, automating, and enforcing the state you want.
So it's not just about deployment. It's about ongoing management, structure, security.
Exactly. It makes your cloud operations more efficient, much more predictable, and frankly, less stressful.
Less prone to those late-night emergency fixes.
Hopefully.
So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is this. Thinking about ARM's capabilities, the templates, the groups, the policies, the locks, how could fully leveraging these not just smooth out what you're doing now, but actually let you build bigger, better, more resilient things in the future?
Yeah, how does it change what's possible? Something to really think about as you navigate the cloud.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Azure Resource Manager.